Panasonic was gracious enough to send us its latest and top-of-the-line HD TV gear, 3D HD TV gear, in fact. The boxes arrived today, and we've not yet had a chance to test anything, but we thought this would be a good opportunity to show us unboxing a new TV. And we got some suggestions for the first few steps to take when setting up any new home theater gear. So this is the TC P54 VT25. It's a
top of the line.
$3,000. It's $3,000 street or MSRP?
MSRP.
Okay.
I haven't seen it too many street prices yet for this, but it's going to be probably close to that. And to go with it, they sent along their, what is that? The DMP, the BDT300 Blu-ray player.
Let's get some shiny stuff to show people.
More boxes. This is their next to top of the line Blu-ray player. List price $400. The 350 model of that Blu-ray player, actually, the only thing I can tell that it adds is DLNA support. So this is one step back, save you about 30, 40 bucks.
And we sent Seraphina out to get us a full-on Blu-ray 3D movie. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, one of the only 3D Blu-rays you can buy anywhere.
Totally.
How do you want to start, sir?
Tip number one, when you transport a TV of this size, especially the bigger screen TVs, keep the box upright. It's made to take shocks if you're actually transporting this in the back of a truck or something. It's made to take shocks vertically, not horizontally. So if you're laying it flat, it had more of a tendency to flex, more of a chance to damage the product. So keep it upright. Don't cut the box open. Don't do it. Don't do it. Actually, most boxes nowadays have really good instructions right on top, including repacking. So if for any reason you need to put it back together.
Do not cut. Remove white clips. Then lift box top from its base.
Totally.
What about smaller HDTVs?
Those typically do not have these clips or straps, and you do cut the tops of those boxes open and lift the TV out.
Good to know. I think we got
Super
one more
cool.
clip.
Oh, one more.
Even the clips have up points on them.
Yep. Keeping it all together, because you might need to return the darn thing. Lift
By the
carefully.
way, you should move this thing as close to its final resting place as you can before you start moving it around.
Save the box. Yep. I'll just drag it over here.
And remember to save all of the packaging material just in case something's gone horribly wrong and you need to return it.
And I'd say right now also just kind of take a look around for like remotes, accessories,
3D glasses.
Grab all of that good stuff.
Power cables.
Like here's some stuff we'll need for the base stand. I say put all of this stuff into a large freezer bag if you can. Especially if you're not going to use it, keep it all in one place. It makes it handy to store it. Now, we need to prepare the TV to be mounted. And right now, I am finishing the assembly of the base stand. This is what we're going to actually set the TV onto. We have a relatively pretty good stable rolling table to put this whole thing on, so we know we've got a good platform. That's important. Whether you're going to drive or mount it on a wall or put it on its stand, do ensure that everything is secure. These aren't exactly light objects, and you don't want to break anything. Then our base is essentially assembled. Now, on these sets, if it doesn't have a hand grip, which this one actually does, right in the back, 2 people, it's not so bad. I'm gonna rock that out of the way. We carefully
align the arrows.
Set it on its home. Ta-da.
The nice thing is there's basically arrows back here that tell you exactly where to line things up.
Most excellent. We can finish putting the 4 attachment screws in if we want, which is probably not a bad idea.
And look, they've got the little promotional item.
Hey, hey. Included with every one. So far, I've not seen any necessary cables yet, which I'm not expecting to really find any.
You're saying there's going to be no HDMI cables?
If there is one in that box, I would be really happy to see that. But I've yet to see a manufacturer, I think, other than, I want to say Vizio, include an HDMI cable in the box.
Our 3D HD TV demonstration disc.
Hey, hey. Oh, the wireless dongle.
Yeah, the wireless LAN adapter.
Kind of nifty. All right, the remote's set up. And for this particular Panasonic player, you're talking dual HDMI outputs, one for audio and video. They can go, say, right to your TV set for 3D output, and a sub-AV output that would be good for an AV receiver that doesn't yet support, say, 3D functionality, yet you still have that compatibility. They have a LAN port as well for connecting to the internet. One, I believe, 2 USB ports that you can connect that dongle, the Wi-Fi dongle to, so if you want to go wireless with it. Coaxial and optical audio outputs, nice. As well as 7.1 output as well for audio, analog audio output, if you need that. And your component Component outputs as well for video, as well as standard composite, which I'm not going there. Now, these happen to be the HDMI 1.3B cables, which should work with 3D HD TV content. Now we've connected everything, power's turned on, clearly, and we're using just one HDMI cable. Use HDMI whenever possible. That just makes your connections not only easier, but you get the best possible quality. Everything's on, and this is the very first menu you're gonna see. I'm gonna hit English for the menu, or for the language selection. Home use or store use, this will determine whether or not your Energy Star mode is enabled. If you select home, it is enabled, so we'll do that. Not using cable or antenna right now, so I'm just gonna say not used. And here's labeling. If I want to label any of the inputs right now, I'm currently using HDMI 2 for the Blu-ray player. So why don't I just put that on there right now and be done with it. Skip the rest of these. Go to next. Network settings. I'm going to skip this for now. We'll come back to it later. We need to get it all set up on our network and probably see if there are any updates for this TV. That would definitely be something I'd recommend doing, one of the first steps. Set the clock, although you can probably do this when it's connected to the internet as well. Enjoy. That was easy. Pull up an input. Let's go to the Blu-ray. I have to say, so far so good. That was entirely too easy. I also say that once you get this TV set up, I would be tempted just to leave it on its default home settings, let everything run for hours on end. I typically find that if a problem is going to occur with this new hardware, it'll happen within the first day or two of use. Usually that's if it'll blow up quick. It just says play movie in 3D, play it in 2D.
Okay, now we have the GIF Master 3D viewing experience with the layers of clouds. That's actually got some depth to it. Got a nice little halo. There we go. Okay, I'm definitely seeing the depth. I'm really enjoying the colors. And so far, I'm so concentrated on looking at the 3D, I'm not enjoying the movie because I love this scene.
That looks really solid.
I mean, it definitely has the whole 3D depth. But do you feel it amazing, or do you feel it's like a gimmick?
For this kind of content, I'm good with it.
Right.
There's a lot of movies I wouldn't want to see necessarily in 3D, but for content like this,
the 3D version of Casablanca, you're down on?
If they could incorporate those depth effects and really add that depth to the scenes, that looked really cool.
Okay, I'm kind of tripping on the 3D effect because it feels. Remember the Fresnel lens 3D picture covers in children's storybooks? It kind of reminds me of that because it's still obviously 2D, although it has depth. I'm not going to buy a new TV just to get 3D, but you need to make something clear to everybody out there.
Exactly. The sets that do offer the 3D view they're only 3D with the content, and it's when you want it to be 3D. It's not 3D all the time. Mm-hmm. It's only when you're viewing that specific content, and even with that movie, it even offered you an option to watch it in 2D. 3D. So don't picture that, oh, I'm buying a 3D set, I'm going to be forced to wear the glasses all the time. No, that's not the case. It's more about, you know what, if you're buying some of the best TVs from some of the top manufacturers right now, they're offering 3D built into it.
Whether you want it or not, you will have, at the top of the line, you're getting 3D, the possibility of doing 3D if you want to buy glasses for everybody in the family.
Totally. And this set came with one pair, buy a few extra if you got a larger family, of course, but that could add up.
Most of the stuff you're actually excited about in this particular television doesn't have anything to do with 3D.
No, actually some of the picture performance elements, that's what I'm really going to be looking at. This is their top-of-the-line model, and in the demonstration I looked at a few months back, the thing that really caught my eye was motion performance. Moving objects had very crisp, clean edges, something I'm not used to seeing on plasma displays, and it really comes down to the pixel performance that they incorporated mainly for the 3D functionality, but it also has a lot of benefit for 2D content as well. Looking forward to putting this through its paces.
Mr. Herron's going to spend the week and possibly the weekend playing around with this beast. Full review of the VT25 next week.
We'll get that done, and the player. The player also I'm interested in, because that player has some cool options for people with older 3D technologies, so they can still actually use that older gear with a player like that, and that's something I want to get into in a little bit. So.
HD Nation.